Okay, here we're doing an episode of On Point EDC. Today we have another outstanding pen review for you guys from the brand Urban Survival Gear. A little bit about them. They're a custom pen maker with an eye for sleek, minimalist designs. Now, this type of product, of course, I'd consider a custom pen. Some key common characteristics and design language when you're looking into something like this. You're going to want that unique design language, of course. You're going to want that fun, fidgetable actuation, as well as premium materials in construction. Now, Urban Survival Gear has kind of been a leader within this space for quite some time now, and they recently released one of my favorite pens, a later iteration of it, and it received a bit of mixed reviews. Some people just weren't happy with the additional cost, and some people were, I guess mostly the cost, because the thing was amazing. But the owner and founder of the company decided to hear everybody out and so what he ended up doing is creating this new iteration, which is the TiScribe-Go in titanium, and this is the full-size model. And essentially, it's a revised and simplified version to reduce cost. And the TiScribe-Go, in their own words, is a direct replacement for the TiScribe Bolt V2. So basically, it's almost like when you go to the movies and then they'll do a soft reboot. They'll kind of hey, forget about that other one. So forget about the V3. This is going to continue right off of the V2, and this is the new latest and greatest. It has the same form factor as the V2 and most of the V3 upgrades. The entire pen is machined from military grade titanium and updated with a ton of features. You're getting a deeper carry equal to the V2, but a little bit less than the V3. You're getting reduced clip length, so it doesn't hit your fingers. You're getting near zero tip wiggle, no screws, complete breakdown in under 10 seconds. And then, of course, you're getting the Higby blunt start thread, which is great in terms of push and turn. You're getting that J-shaped bolt action. You can pull it down and flick it, and then the clip bevels and jimping look great, so you're not getting any more sore thumbs. And then you also get easy access into pocket notebook. So in terms of the overall scale, this thing is now kind of the perfect size, and I'll do some comparisons, of course, of some of the other iterations that came along the way. But with all that said, let's go ahead, zoom the camera out, get this piece in hand, and take a closer look. All right, now before we get this piece in hand, really quick wristwatch check. Ooh, Zelos Mako 3, but now in full titanium with a quick adjust clasp, with a toolless quick adjust clasp. Yes, this thing's fantastic. I'm looking forward to sharing it with you guys. Perfect pairing in terms of titanium improvements, whatnot. Really digging it. But let's get into this glorious little pen here. So yeah, this thing works great, and it's everything you loved. You can see now the nice thing is when you come down with it, of course the action is still great. You actually do get a little bit of that. So you can even, it has a little bit more of a fidget factor. If you really want to be one of those clickers, you can do something along those lines, but really you just chuck it down and it does a great job. So now really all of the, you can really break it down just by unscrewing this. Because there's no other, basically you have to take a longer screwdriver, which you can purchase on the site if you want to go for a full breakdown. But the basic maintenance breakdown is that it breaks right on down. So we'll work a little bit backwards here, and we'll take a look at the previous iteration, the V3, which I received mixed feelings from people in terms of the length. You can see there the clip is a little bit shorter. Also, the overall length on here, of course, this is the shorter one, not the mini. This was kind of the middle-sized one. Now they pretty much do a full and then a mini. But you can see here this was kind of the sweet spot for me in terms of sizing. But you can see now it's a little bit longer, and then the contours and even the finish much darker, with higher contrast polish there. Here it was very monotone. And then in terms of the breakdown and what made this one cost a lot more, comparatively, was the fact that you had all these extra components. Everything was tucked and whatnot, so all this is just really required a lot of extra machining, you know. And here it's not the case because it's simplified, and also you get this really cool aesthetically pleasing. If I can get the camera to just say, hey, let me look at that. There we go. You get the Urban Survival Gear logo there, kind of inset in like a copper tone. So very, very nice. Of course, it's really hard to make the camera really enjoy that. But yeah, this thing's sweet, and it basically is a simplified version of this, retooled and just improved in every way. But this improvement, you know, it's taking those things that we liked. Let's go one step further backwards. Here, as you can see, this is the way it was before. Again, it was a little bit different in terms of, so now you didn't have that. They listened, and then here the action was a little bit different. It was just kind of a down and over versus it being kind of that sweeping, very natural, very easy. Man, this thing is smooth. This one was pretty smooth too. And you can see there's a little bit of air gap there, you know, so there's, yeah, this was a good update on that design. And then you can see very similar in size. But yeah, this thing, I really fell in love with this. And then we go even farther back and we go for the full size bad boy. This is like, now this seems obscenely long, but this is more like the size of a regular pen that you would have at your desk. And yeah, this is now, of course, by comparison, full size to full size, it's only slightly shorter, and I think it ends up being in that sweet spot. And you can see, of course, the evolution here. Here's the full size, then it evolved in terms of having some different size options, and then it evolved, of course, and you know, there was grade in titanium in general, from kind of the V1 to V2, and then we got the V3, which was just a masterpiece of just kind of tucking and being gorgeous, but it did increase costs. And then you get this, which is just, hey, back to the drawing board. And I gotta say, this, I know it was like meant to kind of simplify things as kind of the main point, but I think this might actually be an improvement because it gives me even more of a kind of signature clean look, because there's a lot of brands that are copying kind of some of the leaders within this space. And of course, like I mentioned, this has really, you know, Urban Survival Gear have been a leader within that space. So some of you are probably wondering like, hey, why is this guy not picking up the pen and writing with it? Well, it's because the cartridge inside is not proprietary, guys. This is a Pilot G2. If you want to know how Pilot G2 writes, feel free to go pick up any Pilot G2. I'm left-handed, so I will say ergonomically, this fits great in my hand, and I'm sure it fits even better for somebody who's right-handed, which tends to be the tail of the tape from that standpoint. But man, this thing's gorgeous. I'm not gonna pull out, right. Yeah, G2, Pilot G2. Look, Google it. You'll find out how those write. These now only cost $99.99 in pre-order, or you know, for the full price, whenever that happens, that'll be $114.99, so less than 115 bucks, which is outstanding and not too much more expensive than those original ones from way back when that I shared, that I really, really loved and enjoyed. Of course, you're getting this beautiful titanium construction, stonewashed finish, with those kind of low polished accents, really beautifully solid, clean, functional minimalism, and the mechanism is outstanding. The length on here, 5.36 inches, thickness 0.4 4 inches, and weight being 27 grams. In hand ergonomics, very light but quite balanced. Creative bolt action, which I dig. Fun to fidget with, of course, and super smooth. In pocket, very slim and compact. Still, the silhouette is closer, I'd say, still to standard pens than a lot of the customs that are out there that are a little bit overly thick. So this thing, it feels right. It feels like a pen, but it just feels like the best pen you've ever experienced for most of you. So this thing is really beautiful. Again, it's not necessarily about the writing experience that you're gonna get from it. Because you can put some pretty standard tips in there. So for those of you that are really like big pen aficionados, I'm sure you're going to use a more expensive pen at some point. But in terms of, you know, fit and finish build quality, for those of you that enjoy, you know, a good, well-built pocket knife or a nicely built watch, it's going to give you a similar feel in terms of that precision and just doing things with a purpose. So I really do enjoy that. In terms of model variants, the mini size comes in at 4.76 inches. Of course, this is the full size, so it's 5.36, and then that's for and then it also, you can get it in titanium, or this is titanium. You can also get it in copper or bronze, options available in both full or mini sizes. Definitely check this site for details and availability. In terms of comparable options, guys, a lot of bolt action pens on the market, few that really feel quite this refined. I mean, this thing is, it's like a Porsche. A lot of you were like, hey, what's the difference between, you know, Daddy and the new one? There's some of you aren't even seeing the difference right now, in the same way that some of you might not see the difference in today's 911 or one from 18 years ago. That's the beauty of that, you know, kind of having that instant identity and that great, just clean aesthetic, that it just gets cleaner and cleaner. It's just really beautiful, and I can't get enough of it. So yeah, bottom line on this one, this is the next evolution of a very established EDC icon, and I gotta say, this evolution is very cool. Probably the smoothest pen ever. This action is insane, scary good. My gosh. Yeah, this thing's fantastic. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you like the video, please do hit like, and if you haven't already, please subscribe for more content just like this. Thanks, guys.